The true biography of Felix Manalo is a good, written and created by your humble servant, Jerry Cahelon. Just call me Tatang JC. Thank you very much. Before I proceed, my very dear brothers and sisters, friends, countrymen, and acquaintances, may you please don't forget to like, share my videos, and subscribe also to my YouTube channel so you can easily follow through on my next significant manifestations or testimonies. Thank you very much. Part 9 of the biography of Felix Manalo is a good. Before the year 1918 ended, the first house of worship or chapel of Sir Felix Y. Manalo's church was built along Gabriela Street in Tondo within the city of Manila. This is made of bamboo splits, wood, and the roof constructed out of nipa or palm leaves in a small vacant lot which is nearby and along the train rails. The land is just a part of the large estate property owned by the former Catholic parents of Madame Honorata. She acquires the land by way of estate inheritance apportioned to her. The parents of Madame Honorata de Guzman recently became followers of the Christian mission and now fulfilling a nationwide charity work in parts of the Tagalog region, in nearby towns surrounding Manila, and in the provinces of Abra and Laguna. All these works of charities are managed and headed by the Protestant minister Leslie Wolf and his wife, together with W.H. Hanna, who all were professors of divinity at the newest Union Bible Seminary. Also together with them in this work is a Filipino disciple in their faith named Eugenio Mayor. The Treasury Secretary F.M. Rains of the Foreign Christian Missionary Society ordered Mr. Leslie Wolf through his letter to do everything he can to ensure Protestantism shall be widely accepted in the Philippines. Together with this, he urged them to include massive charity work to alleviate the present anger and distrust of Filipinos to foreign missionaries and Americans occupying the islands. And because of this reason, the parents of Madame Honorata responded to the callings for charity work. Thus, they performed wholeheartedly by donating the vacant lot to Sir Felix for his cult society or false church. The wealthy parents of Madame Honorata de Guzman were inherently of Castilian or Spanish blood but born and raised in the Philippines. They were called Criollo, and their lineage originated from a wealthy great-grandfather, a Castilian landlord from the city of Burgos in the town of Castile in Spain. Her mother is originally from Europe, with some or little Jewish blood but mostly Spanish. Therefore, Madame Ata should be said a Criollo, or pure Spanish race and blood, even though she was born and grew up in the Philippines. The Spanish blood is strongly influential among the children of Sir Felix Y. Manalo. It's clearly and easily noticeable on their physical features, such as the taller height, robust physical build, with pale complexion, somewhat light color and smoothly textured skin and highly prominent nose. Obviously, even after 3 breeding generations went by in the Manalo clan, the Spanish features and characteristics were still visible. Their looks were still very distinct in contrast to the true and native Filipino appearance and physical characteristics. On the other hand, the racial roots or parental lineage of Sir Felix Y. Manalo came from the town of Madras, which was under the occupation of Great Britain during that time. Today, this is called the independent province of Tamil Nadu in the country of India. In tracing back the lineage, Sir Felix Manalo Isagun was the son of Mariano Isagun, and Mariano was the son of Salvador Isagun. Salvador was the son of Ignacio Isagun, a member of the army privateers composed of Indian nationals or popularly called the Bombays. They were trained as soldiers to supplement the British Army and serving under the direct command and authority of the British Empire and historically known as the Sepoys. This group of army sepoys landed in Manila together with the regular British soldiers during the attempted invasion of the Philippines in 1762 till 1764 by the British Empire against the Spanish Navy or Armada. Unfortunately, their presence in Manila was only short-lived of about 2 years and were defeated. The British soldiers and the sepoys were forced to leave the country, but most of the Bombays or sepoys rebelled against the British Navy and refused to go back to their homeland of India. Instead, they escaped and scattered all over the parts of Rizal and in the town of Cainta, which includes the barrio of Tipas in Taguig town. Subsequently, this deserted army of sepoys eluded authorities by changing the identities or names, and one of them I particularly referred to as the forebearer of the clan. He called his own descendants' name the Isagun, derived from Hindi or Indian language meaning dream, apparition, fate, or destiny. And the tribe and posterity of Sir Felix eventually originated from here and then. In contrast to the racial lineage of Madame Atta, the said Sir Felix India or Filipino origin was greatly mixed with blood from the people of Madras or Tamil Nadu in the country of India from Africa. Today, the people who live in there were called the Bombays, and their physical features and characteristics were clearly visible on Sir Felix himself, such as the shortness in height, thicker and black hair color, with his very dark skin complexion, having such big and sunken eyeballs, and his very prominent nose too. However, it was well observed and noticed that Sir Felix and Madame Atta had no published photograph or true picture of them together. And so why? Because there is a big difference or contrast in their skin colors and a very big gap in both of their physical heights. Also, Madame Honorata had not publicly revealed or seen photograph of herself. And so why? Well, surely she doesn't look really like a native Filipina at all, or even close to a Filipina outlook in those days. The fact, therefore, the couple attempted to hide her Hispanic looks from many distant converts to avoid losing or simply maintain the true Filipino image of the cult society or church of Sir Felix Y. Manalo he organized. The maternal lineage of Sir Felix Y. Manalo began from true and native Filipino or Indio who traded rice and seafood. It originated from a fierce warrior blood fighting in the provinces of Nueva Ecija, Bulacan, Bataan, and nearby towns of Macabebe, Candaba, Masantol, and Napalit of Pampanga. He is Manuel Manalo, the father of Andres Manalo and the grandfather of Madame Bonifacia Manalo. He is truly a Kapampangan from Macabebe and Candaba and a member of the first group of native warriors fighting alongside with the Spanish soldiers or Castilians in conquering surrounding towns and provinces. His group was highly praised and respected for bravery and successes in every battle or fight. Henceforth, the Tagalog natives popularly called them the Manalos for being always winners in their war campaigns. And with this, the Spanish government gave the families and relatives of the Kapampangan warriors some real properties and educational privileges as tokens and lived together with the Castilians in their encomiendas. During the time of the Americans, they took side with the occupiers. They revived their first lived group and called it the famous Macabebe Scouts. The father and uncles of Madame Pasha were comrades or members of the Macabebe Scouts who were highly trained soldiers, allied and fighting together with the Americans and in occupying various provinces in Luzon. They were the ones assigned and captured the first president of the Republic of the Philippines, General Emilio Aguinaldo. Do you still remember why Sir Felix used his mother's name Manalo before? Well, he dropped out his father's name Isagun during the American occupation of our country for another obvious reason. That is because the name Manalo is popular and has an authoritative image. Along with the image comes political and police influences in the local government being used by the family members and relatives of Madame Manalo. Moreover, and even to this day, the cult and false church of Sir Felix Y. Manalo has the crooked nature or crafted trait of using the so-called political endorsement or support during every major election in the country. Outside our country, there was the heightened intensity of war throughout the world, along with the heated callings of our Filipino countrymen for national independence or self-government from the Americans. Apparently, some disorder is widely spreading and all sorts of violence were resounding from mass or covert organizations or popularly the so-called underground movements up in the hills and mountains, including the cities. The Protestant missionaries and other religious sects from other countries in the Philippines became undoubtedly worried and uneasy due to the increasing or growing anger and distrust of Filipinos to all foreigners. Henceforth, they united to promote and launch nationwide charity work in order to alleviate the distrust and appease the growing anger of the Filipino people. One of those who were given the most attention by the Protestants is the local mystic group who was highly critical of their teachings and especially of the Catholic doctrines, which is none other than the cult church of Sir Felix Y. Manalo. An invitation of the parents of Madame Honorata was given to Sir Felix Y. Manalo to attend the widespread cooperation or committee agreement of all various Protestant sects and faiths in the country. This was made to be held on December 25, 1918, inside the big and popular movie theater, the Gloria Theater, in Tondo, Manila. Obviously, since Sir Felix Y. Manalo received his church property just recently through the parents of Madame Honorata, and with his indulgence, the invitation was immediately and cordially accepted without hesitation. During this program, Sir Felix Y. Manalo was given a certificate of recognition which was sealed by a lawyer named V. Dibagiba, who is not even in the official roster of licensed and bar passer of lawyers in the country. The said certificate was also signed by both Mr. Leslie Wolf and Eugenio Mayor. This fancy piece of paper, however, certifies only that all the participating Protestant sects and faiths in the committee agreement appreciated and recognized Sir Felix Y. Manalo in exposing the wrongful doctrines of the Catholicism and who enslaved the Filipinos for over 300 years of Spanish conquest. This is the true nature of the honor he received from this program sponsored by all Protestant sects and other faiths in the country. To make it more clear to those who read this, it doesn't mean that the Protestants have agreed with Sir Felix that his teachings is the truth or his own doctrines in the cult church he established were believed to be correct either. Again, the true purpose of the praise and charity work is for Sir Felix to calm down his rhetoric fueling the burning anger of Filipinos towards the occupying Americans and Protestant missionaries. This is the secret and yet truest intention of the certificate of recognition he received. Therefore, it's not really something big to be proud of by Sir Felix Y. Manalo. On November 11, 1918, all the conflicts brought about by the First World War ended. Another new chapter in our world history which cannot be forgotten by anyone. However, many of our Filipino countrymen today still don't clearly or thoroughly understand the details of it. This First World War or World War I was not just an ordinary fight of one country against another, but many countries and groups of countries were involved. At the end of this war, not so many of our ordinary countrymen easily understood the event, and especially during the time when Sir Felix Y. Manalo was preaching his doctrines. I will discuss this topic thoroughly with you in one of my future presentations. Meanwhile, on June 28, 1919, a true world peace became apparent when a peace agreement or the Treaty of Versailles was formally signed in France by the delegation of all countries in the world who were involved in the conflict. And in the midst of this year and in our country, Sir Felix Y. Manalo held the first laying of hands or ordination of ministers in the cult society or false church he established in 1914. He had chosen his 3 faithful allies of his doctrines or preachers of his teachings to be the first ordained ministers. They were namely Justino Casanova, whom he called Godfather of the Godfathers or Almighty Right Hand, and the one called Most Obedient Preacher, of whom was Federico Inocencio, the first to have wrong or authorized hands laid upon him to manage and maintain the clandestine local of Punta before the war started and before the church of Sir Felix Y. Manalo was officially registered. And finally is Teodoro Santiago, who was called the Executioner or Blessed Iron Fist. Subsequently, from among other preachers and church makers or emissaries like Anuario Ponce, Teofilo Ora, and Basilio Santiago, who were not granted the laying of Sir Felix's hands or included in the ordination, they now raise the question of who ordained or lay hands on Sir Felix Y. Manalo in order for him to preach the Word of God with authority. To my very dear brothers and sisters, friends, countrymen, and acquaintances, may you please stay tuned for the upcoming Part 10 of the biography of Sir Felix Manalo Isagun in my next presentation on the Internet of the Cyber World. Again, to my very dear brothers and sisters, friends, countrymen, and acquaintances, may you please don't forget to like, share my videos, and subscribe also to my YouTube channel so you can easily follow through on my next significant manifestations or testimonies. Thank you very much.